Wham! What's up with it, baby? It's your boy Oksceez, man, and I'm back like spinal cords and car seats, you feel me? Because spinal cords is in the back and car seats is in the back, you hear me? 5 times Larry Bird was injured and refused to quit. Man, shout out to the comment section, man. Shout out to all my subscribers that's rocking with me. Shout out to my Snapchat followers, Instagram followers, everybody, man. This was in my comment section. Somebody said, hey, you should react to 5 times Larry Bird was injured but refused to quit. They got doctor talking. They got I've never seen it, but I like, man. Like, comment, subscribe. You finna go up, man. And if you tell your friend, like, comment, subscribe. Tell your friend go crib. Tell his uncle need to go to the barber shop. And before he get that old ass chili bowl haircut, tell everybody that bitch like, comment, subscribe. What you talking about? With no further ado, let's
to his credit, he gets up and fights through it and goes out there and plays, but he is not a healthy person right now.
I've never met an athlete that would play with pain the way he does, and an athlete that's so highly self-motivated as Larry Bird.
That's because you ain't never met a Larry Bird. What? It's the greatest of all time. It's Larry the Legend. And y'all lucky he wasn't healthy. Boy was so... That boy down there the gingerbread man for his career. Still out there getting bucks. Goddamn gingerbread man.
I think 4 or 5 years you'll think back about what he did, or you'll just, you'll go that. I think it's one of those things that as the years go by, it'll become bigger and bigger and bigger.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm back with another video all time player, and he overcame tremendous adversity as well as injuries. And I want to make it very quick. So with that being said, let's get nominated. So the first injury we're going to look at is from 1979, before Larry Bird was even in the NBA, and his injury occurred.
And I ain't even know this. Like, somebody put this in the comment section too. Buddy could have went to the MLB. But was a multi-sport athlete. Because I've been knocking. Oh, he's so unathletic. Call him what you want. That boy could have went pro in 2 sports. 2 sports. Went to college. It was 2 sports.
In a friendly softball game with Larry Bird's brother as well as friends. And here's Jackie McMullen explain this very bizarre and peculiar injury.
Well, he shows up, and who's on the other team but his brother? So Larry's playing out in the outfield, and his brother hits this kind of spinning, looping ball, almost like a Tim Wakefield knuckleball. It's just spinning all over the place. And Larry tries to go down and make a basket catch, and his finger goes all the way back, and he's like, man, wow, it really hurts. And he looked down, and his finger was completely dislocated and mangled, and he really was bothering him. He had to stop playing right away. And so now remember, he's been drafted by the Celtics during this point, but he has not signed a contract yet. So his finger is in a bad way. He has to have major surgery with clips put in and pins and everything else. And he never tells the Celtics this has happened. But sooner or later they get word, and they summon him to Boston. And the trainer examines him and says, and the team doctor examines him, and they say to Red Auerbach, this guy's damaged goods. Now, Red's like, really? So he says, come on, Larry, get dressed. So Larry puts on his stuff. Red throws him the ball. He goes out. He starts shooting from all over the floor. He's hitting from everywhere. Throws him a few bounce passes. Has him throws a few overhead passes. And he said, you look fine to me, kid. And Bird said, great. But Bird to this day will tell you, he's never had the same feel for the basketball.
And that is OD. That is OD to even think of. And first, I ain't know you even had a brother that played college baseball too. And just knowing the competitive nature of Larry Bird, I already know how that go. You play your brother hard. Like my brother, I wouldn't even let my brother score a point. What the fuck you talking about? I'm finna beat your head in every single time we play one-on-one because it's just that competitive nature. We growing up like that. So I already know he probably laid out, probably tried to make a crazy golden glove catch, bent this shit up, and then he was trying to hide it because he already know people going. You know how the NBA do, man. You could slip and fall in the shower. At least sprained his ankle, man. We ain't gonna draft him. And you drop. Not me. I lost all my feeling. I ain't lose my feeling, but the ball never feel the same. But I'm still better than. I'm just that much better than y'all. I'm that much better than y'all. I ain't gonna miss a step. And y'all here, I ain't gonna miss a step. In my head, I'ma know. I'm 2 levels. I didn't drop from a 12 to a 10. I used to be a 12 out of 10, but now I'm a 10. Damn, broke my damn knuckle.
So obviously a pretty bad finger injury that affected Bird for the rest of his life. And around 2010, Larry Bird gave an interview and said his finger.
The finger is shaped much like a boomerang, probably bent towards the thumb of the two operations that fell straight. He can bend it only halfway to his palm.
To this day,
That is
is shaped
crazy.
like a boomerang at a 45-degree angle pointing toward his
I mean, you
thumb.
can't.
And he's had 2 surgeries that have failed to straighten it
That's
out.
crazy.
But I think
And he's
the
still
most intriguing
catching
thing in
that
that
horn.
clip is that Larry Bird himself said he never had this.
That's why he had to. When he shot that bunch in his shooting shirt and walked off the court with the. That's why he ain't had the powerful one. He had the motherfucking finger is. This is a wet noodle. I got a wet noodle for index finger.
Same feel for the basketball after this injury.
Duck
And Bird was
him.
already was one of the best shooters of all time. He was the first player ever to win the 50-40-90 club, and he routinely shot over 90% from the line. But with that being said,
That's insane.
Bird actually could have been a better shooter than he was in the NBA if it wasn't for that devastating finger injury. Now, next up on the Bird injury
Better dribbler, better passer, better everything with the finger. I give him a finger back. Can I give him a finger?
list, we go to his back, one of the worst injuries a player could ever
My
have.
neck and my
This
back.
injury for Bird occurred in 1985 in the middle of his prime. And here's a doctor, as well as a few commentators, talking about how tough Bird was and how difficult it was for him to even play a basketball game.
Larry had 2 jobs his last 7 years of playing. It was playing basketball, and then it was him being committed to taking care of his back.
He had first heard it in 1985, building
Hey, a back injury is tough. That put boys out. That put you out. Boy, I don't know if y'all ever had y'all back tighten up or the soreness or something. That shit's tough to play through. You see somebody laying on the sideline like that, you know he got back problems. He probably got, I don't know.
the driveway at his mom's house back in French Lick.
Larry decides to do it himself.
The White Hick from French Lick. Boy, that's the hardest nickname ever in history.
This is Larry Bird, the superstar, out there breaking his back, literally shoveling gravel. And that was the beginning of a process.
I would see him on TV laying down, and then they told me that he had to lay down on planes, different things like that. And I was like, wow.
As Magic soared through the prime of his career,
Book with
That's
confidence
crazy.
at Booking.com,
Laying down on
the
the
world's
plane.
leading online travel agency.
Bird was breaking down. His deteriorating back and
But like when you know all that and then they replay like the falls and dives and all that shit hurt me. You see,
punishing style of play, proving an excruciating mix.
From 88 to 92, it was painful to watch. It was painful to cover. Larry is quite ornery when he's not feeling well, which means he was ornery for those next 4 years.
I don't even know what that word mean. Honorary. He's quite. Man, what is that?
He could manage the pain in a way that very few people can.
Talking over my head,
If you
baby.
get paid to go to work, you got to go to work.
It was a situation that he was.
Boy, if you get paid to go to work, you got to go to work. He says daddy instilled that in him. He said his daddy had a sprained ankle one time at work, hurt his ankle or something, came to the crib, and the next morning it was even fatter. And he called Larry. Larry had to help him put his boot on for work. And instead of calling in, motherfucker put the boot on. So that instilled that in him. Made him a
almost
dog.
daily. He had lost the structural stability in his spine. So it would slip into abnormal positions to try and lock itself to get an artificial stability. That's like getting your finger stuck in a door and somebody's still pushing on the door. So what we had to do was unlock his spine, realign it, do techniques that would hold that for 4 hours, 6 hours, that type of thing, and then he'd go play basketball.
So obviously that back injury was pretty devastating for Bird, and it kind of marked the end of his prime.
Diamond.
But even with that being said, Bird in his last 7 seasons still put up tremendous stats, averaging 25
That
points
is
per game, 9.3 boards, 7.2
insane.
assists on near 50-40-90 splits.
Not the
Those stats
gingerbread,
right there from
man.
an offensive perspective are still some of the best stats of all time. And once again show Bird could handle pain like few athletes ever. And one of the most remarkable things I've ever heard comes from Larry Bird's former teammate, that being Robert Parrish. According to Parrish, Larry Bird never took painkillers, pills, or any shots.
You
in
ain't
his
take
entire
no
career.
painkillers. Nowadays, motherfucker be in the bag full of everything. Like Scottie Pippen, he was talking about he was playing through his back injury when he was dissing Michael Jordan. Talking about it's harder to play with a back injury or a flu. But yeah, he talked about he was headed to the back. He getting cortisone shots. He popping pills. He was doing everything to maintain. So that's crazy impressive that he wasn't taking no painkillers, no shots, no pills, or nothing. Just straight determination, straight savage. Like, what is this guy made of? What is wrong with this dude?
Bird simply toughed it out and showed mental toughness as well as physical toughness.
Ian was out there dropping 30. Not no media. I'm not just out here running around, cooling.
Now, also one thing Larry Bird was known for in his career was being mentally tough. And here's a quick story from Kevin McHale talking about Larry Bird's mental toughness after being stuck down in an airport for 10 straight hours.
Back then when we flew commercial, we didn't fly private, we played in a Tuesday night game in Cleveland. And of course we got up for the first flight out. We had a game on Wednesday night in New Jersey. Snowstorm hits Cleveland. We're at the airport at 7 in the morning. Flight's canceled at 7. It's canceled at 8. It's canceled at 9. It's canceled at 10. Canceled at 11, 12. We finally leave about 1:30 or 2 in the afternoon. We fly up to New Jersey. Now the storm has kind of moved into Jersey. And the bus driver says, well, I can't get to the hotel and to the arena. I can only go to one place. Well, we had a game that night. We go to the arena. So we get to the arena, and I mean, we're dragging. And we're sitting around the locker room, and, and everybody's kind of, we're tired, and, and all of a sudden, the coach gives a little bit of a speech of, come on, man, guys, we're playing basketball. Let's get ready to go. And Larry stands up, and Larry says, a couple other few choice words, and he says, I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to take it out on their rear ends. So I was like, oh, all right.
Beep, beep, stood up. Beep, 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 beep. And more of the story is, nigga, y'all mad? Fuck it, we finna go take it on these bum ass. Come on. Come on.
Let's go. So we go on the floor. Albert King sitting there. Larry walks.
Regulators, mount up.
Except to Albert King.
What movie is that? Y'all don't know nothing about that. Y'all don't know nothing about that movie.
And goes, don't take this butt whooping personally. I've been eating hot dogs all day. And then Albert King looks at him like, you've been eating hot dogs all day? What's that got to do with me?
Bitch, I'm mad, nigga. My baloney got a first day, motherfucker. I been eating Oscar Mayer all day. While you been in the heat eating staples. You been eating staples, I been eating hot dogs. I'm mad, and I'm hungry, man. And I'm on your head.
And we went out and just hammered them. I mean, we terrorized them. And that was Larry. There was no excuses. I mean, he just played. And I tell you, that was just his competitive nature. But a day when you fly all day and eat hot dogs in the airport, best thing was Albert's look on his face like, what hot dogs got to do with me?
And that story from Kevin McHale, for the most part, is pretty comical, but I think it still shows Larry Bird had extreme mental toughness. And when it came to playing basketball, he would give it his best every single night. And I actually went back to Larry Bird's game charts, and I found this game from 1986 on April 13th. In this game, Boston beat New Jersey by 28 points. Larry Bird had 26, 4, and 3 on 64% shooting, and he didn't miss a single three-pointer or a single free throw. And what makes it even more impressive to me is this game versus New Jersey was the last game of the season.
That was a hot dog game.
Packed it in and waited for the playoffs, but still,
we're gonna call that the hot dog game. Oh, but Joint got the flu game. This is the hot dog game.
As well as his coaches. And that year in '86, Larry Bird didn't miss a single game, playing all 82. And if you compare that mindset from Bird to the modern day players, it's simply night and day.
Hey, a player today would never play with the injuries that boy Larry had, boy. Not all 82 games, bumps him 82, all 82 games in the playoffs. Ian and boys was flying commercial.
I pretty much guarantee you, any modern day superstar will 100% sit out that game and rest for the playoffs.
What?
But not Larry Bird. And when talking about Larry Bird in his prime, 1980 to 86, really before his big time injuries, he played 561 out of 574 games. He played all
in 6 years. He missed 13 games.
All 82 games 3 times and over 36 minutes per game every single year. In 2 years, he actually led the NBA in minutes per game. So back in the day, Larry Bird, if he could walk, he was 100% suiting up and playing basketball. But the one time in Bird's career where he simply could not play was in 1989. This year, Larry Bird had severe bone spurs, he had what many people thought was a broken foot, and he had double Achilles surgery. And back in the day, an Achilles injury could possibly be the end of your career. But once again, not for Larry Bird, as the following year, he had a very great and underrated season, averaging 24.3 points per game.
It's an off season. Pete, man, go look over there, man. It's an off season. 24, 10, and 8. And I played 75 games.
9.5 boards, 7.5 assists while playing 75 games.
And I was an ATM from the free throw line.
Minutes per game while leading the NBA in free throw percentage. So even
Elbow
after all
tuck.
his injuries, Larry Bird once again came back to all-star form.
Elbow
and
tuck.
he overcame double Achilles surgery.
Larry!
Now, the last Bird injury we have is in 1991. And this injury is also the last great Larry Bird moment in the 91 playoffs versus the Indiana Pacers. And to kind of set the stage, in this series, Boston, they were heavily favored, but the Pacers. And to kind of set the stage, in this series, Boston, in the 91
dirt.
playoffs,
That's where they got.
versus
That's
the
where I got.
Indiana
I was in Larry's
Pacers.
bag, man.
And to kind of set the stage,
Stay out
in
my
this series,
bag,
Boston,
man.
they were heavily favored.
Stay out
but
this
games
book,
1
man.
before Bird was not playing up to par, only averaging 18 points per game, 9 assists, 8 boards, on 37% shooting, and 11% from 3. And back in the day in the first round, it was a best-of-5 series. So Game 5 was a winner-take-all game. And near halftime of this game, Larry Bird would go down with a severe head injury, possibly a broken cheekbone, as well as a mild concussion.
I didn't know this shit happened in this game with all the stakes on the line, though. I did not know that. That boy said he was unconscious for a split second. Little boy just went to sleep. Like, man, this ain't for me, man. I'm finna go and lay it down. I'm finna go and lay it down. Nigga, Uzi. I fuck around, I got Woozy. Oh, Larry. Casually strolled to the locker room, man. And they probably busy.
But in typical Larry Bird fashion, he would tough it out and come back in the middle of the third
And
quarter.
I'm back like spinal cords and car seats, he said. The boogeyman himself. I know niggas are sick at this very moment. He probably on the court hooping. You hear the crowd cheering, and you already know what it is. And then you turn around and see Larry Legend walking through the tunnel. The boogeyman himself. Oh, man.
In Game 5 of the championship series involving the Knicks and the Lakers in 69.
Up two when Larry come out. Close them boys out.
Garden, from that moment
Close
on,
them boys
Larry
out.
Bird would dominate the remaining 18 minutes of that game, having 17 points, 7 boards, and 5 assists, on 60% shooting, leading Boston to a 3-point win.
We are
And
hollering.
that Game 5 versus Indy is the last great Larry Bird moment as he overcame
We
injury
holler.
and dominated in that second half. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Let me know your guys' thoughts. How tough do you think Larry Bird was?
Hey, like I said yesterday, Larry Bird's the toughest SOB to ever play the game. Ever play the game. Doctors talking, telling you, hey, this motherfucker fragile. This is a gingerbread man running around this hole, man. If you blow on Larry too hard, he might break. No. Nuts is dropped. We got a game today. Let her hoop. Boy, that shit crazy, boy. Larry Bird, boy. You finna go down as the GOAT. You keep on acting like that. Keep on acting like that, Larry. Hey, like, comment, subscribe, man. Hit the little red box for me. Subscribe, man. Fuck with your boy, man. Let her hoop.